Okay, let's have a look at what this is asking of us. It says, this figure, can you see the figure? I know it's not so lacquer up there right now because of all the dark sort of lines overlapping. But the figure shows asking that you give a podium, a basic podium. Okay, generally second base and third base are slightly different elevation. Alright, it's a podium. And it says, draw in third angle, orthographic projection, the front view, the top view, and the right side view. So we need to give 3 views in different places in the layout that's been given to you, the blocks or the grids. Okay, so I'm going to explain what's been given to you. Right. Can everyone see down the middle? Mine's slightly lighter than yours, that you've got an axis that's slightly darker. Can everyone see that? Okay. It's very important. The first thing I'm going to do before I start is I'm going to draw a margin with my pencil, or at least with your pencil crayon. I'm using a pencil crayon so you can see. I'm going to draw a margin above and below 1 block and left and right of my 2 axes. I've got a nice vertical axis, or an x-axis and a y-axis. Have you guys done maths enough to know the difference between an x and a y-axis? Well, not really. Okay, doesn't matter. So I've got a margin, and what do I have? I've got an axis and a margin. How many blocks? Left and right. 1 block to the left, 1 block to the right, 1 block up, and 1 block down. If you don't draw it in, that's fine, as long as you know where that margin is, because there's a sweet spot that we need to know in order for us to start our drawing. So I want you to see this. Every time the margin intersects closest to where the axis start is going to be where we start our drawing. So those 3 points are going to be where our drawings start in each quadrant. I'm going to explain the quadrants to you now. Sorry? Well, you don't have to draw the dots. I'm showing you. If you want to for the first drawing, you can do that. Absolutely. Okay, it's going to help you. Okay. So everyone with me so far? We've done a margin, left and right of an axis, above and below, and we've just got a little starting point. That's just to denote our starting point. Yes, buddy, what's up?
So that's just for homework, because I thought we had to do homework.
Yo, honestly, I run out of nutty badges. But if I had one, I'll give it to you. Okay. Or a packet of wine gums or something at least. Do you know what you're doing here though? Do you know what you're doing?
In the one I never did the margin.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so now you can watch and okay. Gentlemen, here we go. I want you to understand. Third angle orthographic projection. What does that mean? In the top quadrant, we're going to draw, you don't have to write this in, we're going to draw the what view? Top view. In the quadrant below the top view, we're going to draw the front view. In the quadrant, watch this, to the right of the front view, we're going to draw the right view. Very simple. Top is at the top, front is directly underneath the top, right is to the right, and if we were drawing the left view, the left would be to the left. Does it make sense, gents? So we got 1, 2, 3. Now what about this funny quadrant over here? What's going on there? Can everyone see that 45-degree line? The point of the 45-degree line, you're going to see in a moment, is to deflect or redirect our projections. Because what does this word say? Orthographic what? Projection. Okay. Pencil, or where's your pencil and ruler? Okay. Everyone got a pencil and a ruler in their hands? Okay. So, if we have a look at the object, we've got 3 aspects or faces or sides to the object. The front view, do you agree with me, is everything I'm highlighting in green. Do you agree? Okay, good. So let's start with the front view, which will be at the, where? At the bottom. Okay? So what does that look like to you? Just someone describe what you see there. What does it look like? Give me an upside down what? T. So am I correct that if we're looking at that object straight on, we're going to have something that looks like that? Do you agree? Okay, so we've got to somehow take that and place it in here. Now what I want you to look at very closely and very carefully is the way I set this up and how cool orthographic projection is in terms of designing things accurately. Quickly, what's the total height? Because if you look at this object, that's going to be the height. Do you agree? Good. We'll call this the, good, 4 units. We'll call that the length. And for today, we'll call that the width. And you're gonna have to hold on to that, and you'll see why. Okay, so what's the total height? Do you agree that in the front view we're going to see height and length? We're going to see height and we established that the total height is 4 units. So I'm going to go from the starting point. Watch. I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, and now watch what I do here. I draw a construction line. Doesn't matter how far. I'm just going to draw it straight across. Can you see what I did there? I drew a construction line straight up. Construction is light pencil, or you can do it in a pencil pen. Light. I don't want it, it's not dark. At light. Okay? Now I'm going to do, what's this measurement here? What is this? Length. How many blocks? 4, 5, 6. Absolutely. Now I'm going to go across that horizontal axis, if you like. And how many blocks am I going to go across? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to draw a line straight down to intersect the previous one. That means that the whole object has to fit inside that window. Do you agree? Yes? Yes, sir. Okay. So what we've basically done is this. I've drawn this. I've drawn that as a little window, and that object has to sit inside that window. Okay. Right. This object has a base at the bottom, correct? This little T. Okay. How high is that off the bottom? How high is that line, that edge, from the bottom? 1 and? Okay, so watch what I do here. I'm going to go off the bottom or from the top. It doesn't matter, but I'll go from the bottom because it's easier. 1 and 2. And I'm going to draw a line straight across. This is in construction, so it's not dark. That's why I'm using a pencil crayon. I'm going to go over it in a moment. Everything I do first, gentlemen, is in light detail. I'm not drawing anything. And you're going to see why I do it. It's going to make a lot of sense in a moment. Okay. Now, what's the other feature that we haven't done yet? It's this little part that moves up. This little upright. Can you see that? Happy? Question. How far do you agree that that's the starting point over there? How far across is it? It's 2 and then how many? So it's 2 from the start and then 2 itself in diameter and width. Am I correct? Okay, good. Cool. So we're going to go across 1 and 2, make a mark, and then another how many? 1 and 2. Now watch what I do. I just draw a line straight down. All I need to do is intersect that. But I mean, I can go all the way down. How many of you can see the shape already? Pretty simple, correct? Okay. Now what I do, I go and draw dark outlines on those those edges that I would see. Okay. There we go. It is a clutch pencil. If you want to get yourself one, I recommend it. It's very nice. For nice, accurate line work. You don't have to sharpen that. Okay. So there we have it. Are we complete? Yes, the front view is complete. Now I want to show you something. A lot of people would have done this. They would have started here and they would have gone, watch, how many lines? 1, how many? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Do you agree? Let's see how many lines Mr. Mick drew, excluding the margin. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Number 1 is it's accurate. Number 2 is it's more efficient. Okay, so that's why we use orthographic projection. That's why we use construction lines. Okay, now I'm going to see how many of you guys are smart enough to pick this up. I'm going to highlight what I would see in the top view. You can tell me if I'm wrong. Is everyone happy that I've kind of got that right? That if I was to see that object from the top view, that's what I would be seeing. Now describe that shape to me. I'll look at the top. A flat rectangle, but describe it more so. You're telling me it just looks like this. Is that what it looks like? Sorry? And 2 lines in the middle like this. Agreed? 100%. So in a sense, you're going to have 3 rectangles, 4 by 2. 4 by 2, right? Next to sharing edges next to each other. Now, before you go and draw anything, I'm going to show you why you mustn't go ahead and you need to watch what I do here. Every line in the front view that runs vertically, what I want you to do is pull it up into the top view. Do you see what I did there? Do I need to pull this one up? No. Why? Because it's on the margin. I don't need to pull that up because it's already on the margin. So I've taken up that line, and that line. Is everyone happy this far? Okay, good. Now, do you agree that if that's my starting point, right, that was my starting point for the front view, do you remember? If I'm looking above, that's also my starting point, which means it lines up with which corner? Do you agree it lines up with that corner there? Okay, so it lines up with that corner. That means that corner has to sit over there. Does that make sense? Okay, now, I guarantee you that I only have to draw one line and the whole thing's complete. Who agrees? You agree with me, huh? Well, let's check. Let's see. I like it. You guys back me, huh? Quickly, I want you to tell me which dimension, is it length, width, or height, that the front view and the top view share? There's only one of them. Which does it share? Yes? 100%. So what do you think I did? What was my purpose for projecting up? I was projecting what dimensions up? Listen to that. That's key. Listen. What dimensions did I just project up into the top view? Thank you. It's very, very important. I projected the length from corner to corner, or edge to edge. Now have a look here. What measurement do I still have? I still yet to go and find out in terms of my top view. I've got length. We can't see height. What's the other one? Width. How many blocks of width do I have? Okay, now watch this, gentlemen. I said I only have to draw how many lines? In other words, when I say draw, I mean I only have to go and look and measure one particular aspect. So I've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Remember, these I didn't have to measure. I just drag them straight up. Now I'm going to drag that straight across. How many of you can see 3 rectangles placed next to each other? 100%. So, all I had to do was draw what? Measure, work out one dimension. Am I correct? Draw lines straight across. How many rectangles do I have next to each other? Perfect, guys. I'm on the money. Perfect. I'm going to go do these lines first. My set square in place. Oh gosh, that's gone off. Well done. Okay. How many of you guys, let's just put it, how many of you are struggling to see what I've just done? How many of you are everyone at this point is like, see what you're doing there, sir? See what you're doing. Okay, good. Like, be honest, how cool is this? Thank you very much. Thank you. I might actually get you a packet of sweets for next lesson. All right. I'll wait there. Now watch this. Let me prove to you how much more efficient this is. If I wasn't using this method, I would have drawn 1 line, 2 line, 3 line, 4 lines, 5 lines, and how many lines did I actually have to go measure and draw? 1. If you did it from scratch, if you worked from there and then worked 4, 5, 6 across, and then you use this and you counted every edge you did all the time, do you see what I'm talking about, guys? This is why orthographic projection. What did I do? I projected my lengths up into the top view quadrant. Now, let's see how smart you oaks are. Have we got all necessary dimensions for the right side view? Who wants to... Okay, yes or no? Do we have the necessary dimensions or not? Well, let's have a look here. Well, let's have a look. That's green. Let me use a blue. Have a look here. Do you agree that that's what we'll see in the right view?
Yes, sir.
Describe it. Describe it.
Two
Two rectangles, one on top of the. They're both 2 by 4. Okay, now, someone said to me, sure, we don't have enough. Let's see if we even have to go measure anything. What you're going to do here is you're going to take every line from the front view that runs horizontally across. 1. Does that run horizontally? Oh, bless you. Okay. Run across. Do I have to take that across? It's already on the margin. I'll just make that margin a bit darker so you can see. Right? Then, that one I'm going to take across. I don't actually have to because the margin's there. Do you see where it meets that 45? I want to bring it down, but we've got it on the margin already. So I'm just going to re-emphasize that with a little bit more of a harder press. Can you see what happened there? I traveled along, got to my 45, and then I came straight down. Watch. I'm going to go to the next horizontal line. Travel along. Hit my 45. I'm going to draw a line straight. Make sure you go through all those lines. Nice construction line. It doesn't matter. Okay. Did I have to measure anything? First of all, have I got the shape in that I need?
Yes, sir.
Folks, the 2 rectangles are there. Did I measure anything?
Yes, sir.
No. All I did was project. In this case, I projected the what? Width. And in this case, I projected the. So width across and down, height straight across. Where width and height meet, magic happens. In the right view quadrant. Everyone happy? Okay, now I want to show you two more things before we end. I want to show you how I mark this, and I want to show you a point by point. So I want to show you like how you would see sort of coordinates. So let's pick a random point on this drawing. I'm going to use a purple here to indicate. Guys, please watch this for a moment. I know some of you are finishing off this drawing. This is quite interesting. Because what are we really doing here? Can we take this point over here? Do you agree that that point is in the right view is that point there? Do you understand how that works? Okay. If we go to the front view, do you agree that that point there sits on that height line over there? Okay, so if we're looking at it from the front view, it sits on that height. If I go to the top view, do you see that it's at the back right corner over there? What do you notice about all those points? Watch this. We're going to travel this way. We're going to travel straight down. We're going to travel this way. What happens to those lines? They intersect. Okay. All points will intersect. So literally, it's you finding a coordinate. You're borrowing measurements to find an exact point or corner on the isometric. Is everyone happy with that? Okay. Right. So how many edges do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And did we have to measure anything? We have to go and measure those one by one. No? Okay. So this is 5. The maximum here is 6. The maximum here is 7. What's the total there? 7, 5. What's 7 and 6? 18. So there's a maximum of 18 sides. So when I mark this is how I do it. Watch. So I go, okay, that line's correct. We mark edges. Done. Good. Sorry, I'm a left-handed, so I tick funny. There. All lines are in, which means I get 18 out of 18. All accurate. So therefore, this translates into 7 out of what? Maximum. 7. Everyone happy? Is it neat? Okay, I've drawn in some annotations which you would not do. So I'm happy that it's neat. So it's 3. What's 7 and 3?
10.
Okay, that is how we will mark these. Okay, this one is a practice one. From the next week onwards, as we draw, I take them in after this and I draw with you. But I take them in. And a little bit of summative assessment towards the next turn. Okay, one drawing in mind, next drawing in mind. Okay. Alright, gents. Happy with that? Any questions around this? Has anyone done this before? Does anyone find it quite interesting how we can actually just use projections there to literally give us accurate detailed representation of it? Now what will happen to you guys is that these will get more difficult and more complex. Like you're not just going to have you might have a hole underneath, you might have a hole through the middle, you might have more detail overhanging on this. We build the detail, but the process stays exactly the And you'll be fine. Stick to your process of projection. Cool. Good, guys.